T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engine full power. And liftoff from Falcon Heavy. Go Falcon 9. Go Falcon Heavy. Go EchoStar.
Stage 1, chamber pressure is nominal.
We are just over 30 seconds into flight under the power of over 5 million pounds of thrust, and Falcon Heavy is on its way to space. Right now, we're throttling down in preparation for max Q, which is, of course, the moment of peak.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Callouts there that power and telemetry are both looking good for Falcon Heavy. Again, what we're preparing for next is max Q, which is the peak mechanical stress on the rocket. So that is a critical flight milestone for us today. And with that supersonic call out, we know that Falcon Heavy is moving faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
There we've passed through max Q. So now the engines are throttling up. Everything's looking good with the stage 1 trajectory, which is great news. Our side boosters are throttled all the way up right now, but the center core is operating at reduced power. We'll gradually begin reducing thrust from the side boosters to decrease forces on the vehicle structure as we approach our next major flight event, BECO. BECO, which stands for Booster Engine Cutoff, is expected at about 2.5 minutes into flight. That's where we'll shut down the engines on the side boosters, and then following BECO, the side boosters will separate away from the center core and begin their trip back to Earth. The center core engines will then ramp up to full power and burn for approximately another minute, while the side boosters execute their boost back burns simultaneously. Incredible views of Falcon Heavy right now. And as a reminder, although we are not attempting to recover our center core due to performance today, we will be attempting to land those 2 side boosters on landing zones 1 and 2, so we'll have great views for you on the right-hand side of your screen.
Side booster separation confirmed.
Side core separation.
There we've had confirmation of side core separation there. And shortly, those side boosters are going to begin the first of 3 burns prior to landing
boost back startup.
Back on land. There's the call out that we've had boost back begin. We're gonna have several things happen in quick succession here. So some of the things we're looking for are MECO on our main engine, and then those 2 entry and landing burns of the side boosters. On your screen right now, we have views of both of those side boosters on their way back to Earth. There we go, over on the side right there. Following main engine cutoff of the center core, we are looking for stage separation of the center core and the second stage, and then SES-1, or second engine start 1, for the MVAC engine on board stage 2. Shortly after that, we will also have fairing separation, so let's keep an eye on all of those events happening back to back here in just a couple seconds.
Booster boost back shutdown.
There's confirmation that the boost back burn on both side boosters has
Stage
completed.
separation confirmed.
Acquisition of signal for Muta.
Stage 1 FTS has saved center core.
MVAC ignition.
So you saw on your screen there, we had successful boost back burn on the side boosters, main engine cutoff on our center core, stage separation, and that beautiful view means that we have had second engine start 1. That will wrap it up.
Fairing separation confirmed.
That wraps it up for our center core and our fairing halves tonight. So while stage 2 now continues on its journey to space, those fairing halves are currently falling back to Earth.
All vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
With that, we know both vehicles, the center core and stage 2, are on nominal trajectories. And of course, we're going to try to recover those fairing halves again tonight using our recovery vessel, Doug. So next up, we'll be attempting to recover the 2 Falcon Heavy side boosters on land back at LZ1 and LZ2. Fun fact, Landing Zone 2 was built to support dual booster landings like the one we're attempting tonight. Now, at the time of separation, the side boosters were traveling slow enough to turn around and make their way back to land at those side-by-side landing pads. But they've picked up a lot of speed since then. So in just a few minutes, the side boosters will execute an entry burn, followed by a landing burn. Both of these burns are meant to slow the side boosters down rapidly. If those landings are successful today, they will be the 211th and 212th landing of an orbital class rocket. But as I mentioned earlier, because of the additional performance required for this mission, the center core will be expended, and we're not attempting to recover it. Entry burn should begin for those side boosters in just about 10 seconds.
Side booster entry burn startup.
There's confirmation from mission control that the entry burn has begun. Now, each side booster has ignited just one engine in preparation for landing.
Side booster entry burn shut down.
There's confirmation that we have now shut down for the entry burn. Next coming up is our landing burn. And as a reminder, this will be a
Side boosters, FTS has safed.
A 3-engine landing burn on each of those side boosters. Starting to get some initial views in from those side boosters as they come back to Florida, and expecting that landing burn to start here in just about 20 or 30 seconds.
Both side boosters are transonic.
Boosters are transonic on their way back to land at LZs 1 and 2.
Side booster landing burn.
Landing burn has started.
Side booster landing leg deploy. Dual side booster landing confirmed.
That is absolutely incredible, and as you can see, our team is thrilled.
Stage 2, FTS has safed.
With that, we have successfully landed both Falcon Heavy side boosters on landing zones 1 and 2. That marks the 211th and 212th overall successful landing of an orbital class rocket. Next up, in just about 10 seconds, we are looking for second engine cutoff 1 of the MVAC engine up in space. Great views from up in space while we're watching second stage, too. Well, we didn't hear a call out there from mission control. We did see the second engine on stage 2 relight for that third and final time. So now we're just waiting for confirmation.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And there we've got it, of nominal orbital insertion. So there you saw, and as you just heard from mission control, that is our third successful burn for this mission. We're coming up on the final milestone for this mission, payload deployment. The Jupiter 3 payload on board the second stage was built by Maxar and will be the largest commercial communications satellite ever to launch into geostationary orbit, weighing over 9 tons. Once operational, the payload on board the second stage will help meet demand for HughesNet satellite internet in rural areas of the United States and Latin America, as well as demand for Explore service for rural customers in Canada. We're expecting payload deployment coming up here in just about 20 seconds.
Payload deploy confirmed.
There is that confirmation from Mission Control, and obviously you can see on your screen that we have had successful deployment of Jupiter 3. With that, we will bring our mission coverage to a close.
For over half a century, we've been on a journey to connect people, enterprises, and things around the world. Innovation runs deep in our veins, from developing the two-way VSAT in the 1980s, to inventing satellite internet in the 1990s, to launching the first modern-era telecommunications satellite in the 2000s. We've tackled the biggest connectivity challenges and applied our engineering excellence to uncover innovative ways to connect the unconnected. Since the launch of the first Hughes high-throughput satellite, we have engineered some of the highest capacity broadband satellites in the world. And now, our latest and greatest innovation launches a new era of connectivity. Jupiter 3, the world's largest commercial communications satellite. 26 feet tall when stowed, it boasts 14 solar panels unfurled. This massive satellite was purpose-built and engineered like no satellite before. Hundreds of team members have devoted countless hours to bring Jupiter 3 to life. The highly anticipated next-generation ultra-high-density satellite doubles the size of the Hughes JUPITER fleet and brings total throughput to more than 1 terabit per second, enabling more capacity, better service, and faster speeds. With 300 highly concentrated spot beams, Jupiter 3 expands our reach to nearly 80% of the population across North and South America. The engineering ingenuity built into Jupiter 3 will expand the connected experience. For the family in Ohio, streaming movies on a Friday night. For the student in Mexico, expanding her horizons with access to technology and educational tools. For the farmer in rural Idaho, monitoring the weather each day to manage his crops. For the executive, flying from New York to Los Angeles, holding a meeting over first-class Wi-Fi in the sky. For the senior in Montana, consulting with his doctor by telehealth. For the ranger at a national park, coordinating in real time with emergency responders. For the mango grower in Brazil, expanding her family business nationwide and internationally. For the entrepreneur in Ecuador, promoting his business and taking customer orders. For the grandmother in Mississippi, meeting her new grandchild by video chat. All this and more as Jupiter 3 launches a new era of Join us